Welcome to my video on my January 2023 results. I'm going to go through what has happened during the month and whether or not I am on track. So let's jump into it. So you will remember that in my last video about my 2022 results, I put in a few goals and they were around turnover, profit, diversification, and approach. So I'm going to look at my progress against those goals. So it's good to make sure we're on track, see how we're going, and it's a good reminder if I'm not on track with these to get back on track. Now it is only the first month, so hopefully I am on track, but let's get into it. So the first one was around turnover, and I wanted to increase it to around 1.5 million staked or 300 million risked, and about 200,000 bets overall for the entire year. So in January, let's see if we were on track. So we did about 11.5 million for risked, and we did about 114,000, 115,000 for staked. So we're a little bit under on risked, and we are just about right on the staked, not too far off it. Our match bets were significantly higher than what we needed to be, which was good. Now I'm not too worried about the risk being down a bit. I am getting more into sports which have lower odds, and they have one selection, not multiple selections that I might be on, so it can be a little bit less risky in those, and the risk number will be a bit lower, but it's a little bit lower than where I'd like, so it's got a bit of a red X on there. Let's look at profit. So I was aiming for at least $200,000 cleared in this year, and in January we cleared over $18,000, so we're well on track to make the profit and probably ahead of where we need to be. So that's good. Now if we jump down into diversification, I am trying to increase my sports versus my racing percentages, and I am aiming for about 3% of my turnover being on sports for this year. I obviously wanted to keep collecting data, and I wanted to start looking at in-play trading and looking at automated trading pre-play. So I ended up getting about 2.1% on sports for the month, which is an increase from last year, which is great. It's definitely increasing. I'll continue to increase that to get it up to 3% over the year, hopefully. But I'm not too worried about that. That's pretty good. I'm definitely collecting a lot of sports data. Definitely getting that with my other case study, and I'm collecting in-play sports data at the moment as well, using my own bots. I'm looking at the automated trading pre-play, although not too much is going on there at the moment. That's not my focus area, but I am looking heavily at in-play to see what I can do. And it's probably my focus area for sports over the next few months. And my approach is to continue learning, obviously, and making sure my models continue to improve, and to read, chat, and share the knowledge, which I am doing, especially with these videos. So let's have a look at the chart for January. And as you'll see, we got up to the $18,000 profit with a massive run in the middle. So if I break this chart down, essentially for the first 11 days, we got off to a good start with a nice profit there of about 3,000, and it went a bit sideways. From the 11th to the 30th, which is this bit here, I actually was on a holiday, so I had no access to the bot. It just ran. I could check the results, but I didn't do any work on the bot, didn't change the models, didn't do much at all, and it had a very nice run in there. Now it had a little bit of a dip towards the end, but that's kind of expected given the variance, the very positive variance that we had during the middle of the month. And this is probably what you're looking for. So this bit in the middle, where it had a run of, you know, close to $20,000+, that's what happens when you're betting. You tend to go sideways and down a little bit here and there, and then you'll get a period in the month or every couple of months that really adds to your profit. So it was nice to get one of those early in the year and get us off to a really good start. It's nice to have some positive variance instead of that negative variance that we tend to expect. Now it did drop down, obviously, from close to 25,000 back to 15, which was a little bit of a rundown, but it's not too bad. You can't really complain given that run before it. So overall, I think January was a fairly good run, and I think it's done really well, and very happy with January. So what are my thoughts for February? Well, my main themes are no changes to the existing models, no changes to the staking because the staking was adequate, and we just had a really good run of positive variance. I don't really want to be increasing any staking after that. The main improvements that I'm looking at for February are to continue to diversify and test new models in sports, particularly looking at collecting data around in-play and looking to create models around that. And I am testing that on paper, and that has been going really well. It's up around 71 units in profit, so let's just say we were betting $100 in play. It's up around $7,000, but it is paper trading, so I don't really trust these results until I turn it on and it's using real money. So very happy with how it's going, and I'll continue to collect more data and look at in play a lot more. Now, there's a few maintenance activities I need to do during February, which are to fix up a few of the scraping bots. They're not working. Didn't realize that. I need to jump in so I'm not getting some data that I'm not really using, but it'd be good just to collect the data anyway. So it's not really affecting any models that are in production. It's just data collection that's not working. And there's a few new scraping bots that I want to write, particularly around some sites for football. And February will start to get us preparing, I guess, for the major Australian sports which are coming up, which will be the Rugby League and the AFL, which are both set to start, I believe, in March. So I'll be going through, checking my models for those, seeing if there's any improvements I can do, and hopefully we'll find a few more ways to make a profit on those. I'll leave it there. That's my results for Feb, and hopefully you also had a profit. If you've got any questions on my results, feel free to place them in the comments and I'll get back to you. But until March, I'll leave it there and look out for the March one coming up, or the February results coming up at the beginning of March. Thanks. Bye.